How would you respond if your best friend deceived someone they vowed to love forever? Would you defend what's right or tell lies to keep them safe? This tells the tale of how my buddy cheated on her boss, ruining her marriage, and how she wanted me to keep her secret. However, I made a choice that would alter everything rather than filling in for her. Stay tuned to learn how friendship, loyalty, and trust were put to the ultimate test. I've been friends with my soon-to-be ex-best friend since middle school. Since our families are large, we are completely aware of one another. She recently came to me to boast about a 4-month affair she's been having with her new boss, not because she felt guilty. Under the premise of a work trip, she told me she was going on her ideal holiday with him and asked me to cover for her in case her husband got in touch. She even intended to go totally off the grid to keep him from knowing. As an aside, her spouse and I have known each other since high school. They have been together for nearly 15 years. He is one of the most sincere, honest, and industrious people I know and has total faith in her. I told her no and threw her out when she wanted me to cover for her. I was unable to even gaze at her. My spouse was just as horrified and appalled as I was when I later told him everything. Since her spouse is now essentially his best friend, my husband also felt a sense of loyalty to him. My spouse then pointed out something I needed to remember: our security camera, which recorded everything. Tonight, we intend to provide the proof to her husband. He deserves to know, but it will be up to him what he does with it. Since fraternization is not allowed at her workplace and she was promoted by the same supervisor, we also want to discuss this with her. We predict they will both be sacked because this could be interpreted as partiality. I'll close by sending a brief clip of her confessing the affair to my family and all of hers. Since our families are connected, I can quickly contact them. This may seem harsh to some, but I disagree. She is misbehaving. After hearing some advice, I've let her spouse decide whether or not to go nuclear. Ruining her profession could affect the divorce, and he might decide to stay with her. I've decided to stop, but we're still telling him. I will, however, go nuclear and reveal everything if she lies or tries to blame this on us. I refuse to be cast as the antagonist in a circumstance I did not request. The one who believed she could get away with this is her. Telling your traditional values, monogamous pal, that you're cheating on your spouse. Is it really a wise move? She can, however, lie in the bed she prepared. All those concerned. My dearest friend Alyssa is married to Noah. I followed some people's advice and got in touch with Alyssa before approaching her husband. To be safe, I recorded the exchange. She still gave off the impression that she was totally unconcerned about it. I informed her that this conduct was unusual and that I was concerned about her. She acknowledged feeling unstable and weak in her marriage. For comparison, Alyssa was earning nearly minimum pay before her promotion. At the same time, Noah attended trade school and now earns a respectable income. She told me that some women in internet groups that promote anti-traditional beliefs had insulted her for earning less than her husband. She clarified that her online pals urged her to utilize her boss to further her career because he was flirting with her. She did, but now she also has an emotional bond with him. She acknowledged that since the romance benefited her career and she feels she has found love, she doesn't truly regret it. My husband and I were still going to see him tonight with a video of her confessing to the affair, but I told her that she could tell Noah the truth before I did. She wouldn't be able to manipulate it to her advantage that way. Once more, she muttered, okay, and hung up. I wonder what's happening, if she's having a breakdown or is simply not interested in her marriage. I'm curious to see if she will say anything to Noah, but my husband and I still intend to tell him tonight. Regarding sending the video to her place of employment, we have chosen not to do so now, but we should be legally okay. She knew we had cameras because the exterior and Ring doorbell are clearly visible, and the internal cameras are also easily visible. There wouldn't be any legal repercussions against us because, where we live, you are permitted to film on your property without permission. The fact that Alyssa, who had no prior experience, was promoted just for having an affair with the boss is what truly irritates me. Although she has always sought quick cuts, this is a new low. Someone like that shouldn't be in charge, so I hope her boss is dismissed at the very least. I've thought about coming forward with an anonymous report about him. Still, I don't want it to implicate Alyssa. Regarding bringing up the video with Noah, I'm not ready to go nuclear at this time because it is enlightening to see how some individuals can be so oblivious to the effects of their actions. It is astounding that Alyssa chose to deceive emotionally and financially. Noah, her husband, might decide to forgive her, but should I respect that decision? Several commenters noted that blowing up her life would do more harm than good. Reconciliation is up to him, even if I disagree with it. After hearing some advice, I decided to contact Alyssa before going all nuclear. For my own protection, I filmed the exchange, and she seemed oddly indifferent to it all. I informed her that although she could tell Noah before I did, my husband and I would still provide him with the evidence later that evening. Alyssa clarified that the strain of earning less than Noah and the anti-traditional values material she had been reading online were factors in her feelings of inadequacy. To advance in her profession and have an emotional affair, she had been urged by her new friends from feminist sites to accept her boss's overtures. She claimed that it boosted her career and offered her a fresh perspective on love, so she didn't appear to regret it. She seemed so casual, as if the affair didn't bother her, and I was genuinely taken aback. After our talk, she hung up on me, which only strengthened my belief that she was either mentally ill or estranged from her spouse. This behavior was so out of character that I even thought about contacting her parents or getting her medical attention. After weighing the legal ramifications, I've chosen not to go nuclear just yet. Even while it could seem like justice, I don't want Noah to endure more suffering than is necessary, and her employment could impact a potential divorce. Furthermore, some readers helped me realize that marriages are complex and that I wouldn't want to burden Noah's life by disclosing everything, even if he decides to forgive her. Even though we would like to stay friends with Noah, we cannot support that if Alyssa is involved. It is really difficult to see someone you've known for a long time absolutely ruin their life. Ultimately, Noah is entitled to the truth, but what he does with it is entirely up to him. I wonder if Alyssa was ever sincere, given her readiness to choose her work over her marriage and possibly even her friendships. I'm going to take a back seat and let things unfold naturally. I discovered that Alyssa had been more insecure about her circumstances than she had admitted. As long as there was no emotional link, her online pals assured her that using a man to further her profession wasn't actually cheating. It was just being a girl boss. However, Alyssa acknowledged she could not divorce her emotions from the physical partnership. She and her affair partner began going on frequent dates and trips together, and ultimately, they began referring to one another as boyfriend and girlfriend. Although he was informed that they were about to split up, the affair partner was aware of her marriage. Noah had already finished a bottle of wine when my husband and I got to Alyssa and Noah's house for dinner and several cocktails. It was shocking to learn that Alyssa had told Noah about the affair, but it was by no means a sincere apology. She sat him down and informed him that she and her boyfriend would take a vacation this week instead of a work trip. Being a devoted and naive person, Noah became excited. He asked whether they were traveling to Italy as planned because he assumed she was referring to him. "With my boyfriend," Alyssa said, simply staring at him. After a few minutes of processing, Noah told us it wasn't pretty. Alyssa merely yelled for a while before shutting down again. Still, he shamefully dropped to his knees and pleaded with her to repair things. She left him crying there, already packed. We don't know where she went because she disabled her location on the app that Noah and I used. Since her mother, who views Noah like a son, would have gotten in touch with him immediately if she had gone home, we thought she went to her affair partner's residence. We sat down with Noah and informed him that we had audio and video evidence of Alyssa confessing to the affair and providing an explanation. We would forward it to him if necessary. I clarified that I had intended to go scorched earth and tell everyone in a fit of blind wrath, but that I changed my mind and recognized that wasn't the correct course of action after gathering my thoughts. Given that Alyssa obviously didn't care, Noah was the only one who would be harmed by going nuclear. As anticipated, Noah continues to consider reconciliation. Still, he is beginning to accept the possibility that it may not materialize. Reconciliation requires both parties to own their mistakes and wish to make amends. Yet it is evident that Alyssa no longer cares. We've connected Noah with my husband's buddy, who has promised to provide pro bono legal counsel to Noah while the divorce is pending. Although Noah is still apprehensive about continuing, he understands he cannot make Alyssa remain. Here we give our bow. We will keep helping Noah, but ultimately he must deal with his circumstances. It has helped me realize that Noah, not me, is ultimately responsible for how he manages his life and marriage. "What did Alyssa ever do to you that made you want to go nuclear?" others inquired. To be honest, nothing special. More than anything else, our friendship has been based on convenience in recent years. We have always had at least one friend throughout the years that we have known one another. I have never agreed with Alyssa's attributes. But who does? The situation's hypocrisy was what infuriated me. Alyssa would cut off relationships with anyone who encouraged cheating, since she has always found cheaters repulsive. It irritates me that she would completely change her mind and not feel guilty. It's not only hypocritical, but it's also entirely out of character for her, which is one of the reasons I believe she's having a mental breakdown. Someone inquired about my feelings for Noah. Obviously not. I don't necessarily want to be with him just because I've spoken nice things about him and believe he's a decent person. Noah and I have always had a platonic friendship. I adored my husband and was thrilled to see him and Alyssa content. Noah has only ever been a brother to me. One individual expressed their hope that Noah will have the integrity and self-respect to proceed with the divorce and advised him to hold off on telling Alyssa's employer until after the divorce. As much as I adore Noah, I retorted that he almost worships the earth that Alyssa walks on. If she returned right now, he would probably act like the last 4 months had been a bad dream and say, "Sorry," without genuine regret. According to another person, even though it has been terrible for everyone concerned, I handled the matter effectively. They showed curiosity about how things turned out. They thought a considerate attitude would help Noah get through this challenging period. As we continued to help him, they sent their best wishes to my husband, me, and Noah. I decided to go nuclear and made this post in a fit of blind wrath. However, I quickly recognized that I was acting irrationally. Serving vigilante justice is not my role. She might hurt herself at work if she isn't careful, and they will decide how to handle the situation. I won't let Alyssa's employer know. She will lose her work if Noah decides to get back together, which only worsens the issues brought on by the affair. She doesn't deserve alimony, which may be awarded if she is dismissed during the divorce. Alyssa didn't receive counsel from a reputable nationwide organization. The Independent Women of Social Media Group provides advice and content specific to our state's laws and occupations. Women she met in the group who had private group chats gave her advice. She referred to them as her friends, but I can assure you that none of them will assist her in rebuilding her life now that it has been destroyed. It took courage for Alyssa to allow him to confess, and I did my best to be sympathetic. However, Alyssa's lack of concern during our talk is unnerving. Her actions pose serious problems, and I'm worried about her mental health. I did everything I could. That concludes the video for today. Please give this a thumbs up if you found it helpful or relatable. Remember to hit the notification bell and subscribe to ensure you don't miss any subsequent changes. See you at the following one.